It's Reuben Ebrahimoff. Many of you know me as the Haftorah man, that I love to speak about the Haftorahs. And recently, I even wrote a book about Tehillim. I wrote a user's guide to the book of Tehillim. But the next project I started to work on was a calendar that showed us the historical or biblical origins of the entire Jewish calendar, every holiday. Where were we when these events happened that it turned into a holiday? Well, let's talk tonight, which is going to be Rosh Chodesh Nissan, the new moon of the first month of the year. Now, on Shabbat, this previous Shabbat, it was called Parshat HaChodesh. We read a special portion about HaChodesh, the month, translated into English. HaChodesh Hazeh Lachem Rosh Chodeshim. So, if you look in the Seforno, a commentary, an Italian commentary, he lived in Italy. His commentary wasn't in Italian. And what he said is, and let me just read it so it goes nicely. Mikan ve'elech, from here on in, yihiyu hachodashim shalachem. So what does the Torah say? This month, hachodesh hazeh lachem, it is yours. Rosh Chodeshim, the head of all months. First month, equivalent of January in the Gregorian calendar. Why? He says, up until now, you were slaves in Egypt. And then what happens? La'asot bahem kirtzonchem. It was not your decision what to do with your time. Aval biyemei hashe'ibud lo hayu yemechem shalachem. But in the days of slavery, time wasn't yours to decide what to do with. Aval hayu la'avodas acherim urtzonam. They told you what to do with your time, the Egyptian taskmasters. The fichach rishon hu lachem l'chadshei hashana. Therefore, Nisan, the first month actually, it's called HaChodesh HaRishon, kivo hitchil mitziatzchem habechiri. That now the beginning is to say, I choose to do this with my time. It's very, very interesting. Sometimes you ask somebody to do something and they go, sorry, I don't have time. It's just not true. The only thing that all people on planet Earth have exactly the same, all free men and women, is time. You have different looks, different intelligence, different equity, different financial value. Everybody's different. However, time is no one that doesn't have 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. So, to say I don't have time, it's just not true. It's I don't choose to use my time that way, or what God is looking for us is, this is how I choose to use my time. I choose to use it connecting to you, God. So this is the breakthrough month, HaChodesh Hazeh Lachem. This month has three names. HaChodesh HaRishon, the first month. It used to be the Rosh Hashanah. It is, when they were counting years, if a king became a king in the month of Adar, a few days, a few weeks before this month, Nisan, when the month rolled over to Nisan, it was his second year of being the king. And then the third name is Chodesh HaAviv, the month of the spring, or Av in Hebrew, Aviv, Av Yud Beis. Cute. The father of the 12 months. So, this name Nisan, we all use it. Where did it come from? Hebrew? No. It is Babylonian. When we were in the Babylonian exile, we picked up many, many things from them. I'll share a couple of them with you in a minute. So now what? One of the things we picked up is the names of the months. We left Israel in the Babylonian exile with Nebuchadnezzar destroying the Beit HaMikdash, and now, boom, we came back. Instead of having a Chodesh HaRishon, we now call it Chodesh Nissan. It's one of the Babylonian names of the 12 months. What else do we have from Babylonia? You have 12 inches, 12 hours, 12 months. Also, we had 12 tribes. So, 12 in a dozen. So, this base 12 is something that we picked up while in the Babylonian exile. So now, what do you have? Is this month is the month of the Geula. This is the month of the redemption. This is the month that when we were slaves in Egypt for hundreds of years, 200 years plus, finally the day came where we were freed. So now, why is it more important than the month when the world was created? And it says, being created is all very nice. But if you're a slave, you cannot choose. You have no bechira. And let alone you have no time to choose worshiping God. So now you actually are free. And if you think about it, the first month that we have, the first mitzvah we have as a nation is HaChodesh Hazeh Lachem. That this is the month. And remember, back in the time of the Holy Temple, the Beit HaMikdash, Shabbos and Rosh Chodesh were sort of equal in spiritual and observance as far as the energy goes. People didn't work. People would go to the Beit HaMikdash and they would offer karbanot, offer up sacrifices. Now, you all know about astrology. You all know that there were 12 signs. Also, in the Jewish calendar, each month had a shevet, a tribe, associated to it. So what tribe are you going to pick for Nissan? You're going to pick the lead tribe, Yehudah. And this is a little mock-up of what the flag of Yehudah would have looked like. When they were marching in the desert, they would hold up the flag, and they marched in groups of 12 tribes. 3 of them to the east of the Mishkan, 3 of them to the west, 3 of them to the north, 3 of them to the south. The ones to the east was Yehudah. He was the leader. His flag, his degel, was light blue, and the symbol is the Ari, the lion. Very interesting. We see that till today on the parochas, on the curtain in front of the ark of the ark holding the Torah in our synagogues. Yehudah, very interestingly, is who we are. The 10 northern tribes were exiled. What was left? Yehudah, the tribe of Judah, where the Beit HaMikdash stood. Guess what? We're called Yehudim. In English, Jews. That's the biblical origin. That's the historical origin. So now what? Who comes from Yehudah? David. King David is from the tribe of Yehudah. And guess who comes from David? Mashiach ben David. Some people will say that the Davidic dynasty is the throne from which the Mashiach is going to come. So here you have Rosh Chodesh Nissan. It's the first day that the Mishkan stayed up. Moshe Rabbeinu built it. Moses built it. The tabernacle stayed up. It was built. We worshipped in it for hundreds and hundreds of years until the temple was built. So this is an extremely happy time. There's no mourning. There's no fasting during the month of Nisan. It is the month of our redemption. It is the month of our freedom. And all of us should understand the past. Why? To learn a lesson about the present and how to live for the future. That all of us can't be slaves to all these things, whether it be physical, psychological, emotional, spiritual, most importantly. And that we have to bust out from being held, from holding ourselves back, and we have to thrust forward. We have to move forward. We have to go forward in life. We can't get stuck. We got to keep moving. And this is the great energy of the month of Nisan. So I'm proud of you. Thank you for listening. Hope you learned a couple of things. Share this with your friends, and that hopefully this is the 2 weeks before Passover that you're preparing yourself spiritually. Enjoy it. Chodesh Tov.